Hello, welcome back to me playing The Binding of Isaac. More importantly than me playing The Binding of Isaac, though, I'm going to take a drink of water. We're probably going to do another Isaac run, because that's just what I feel like. So, in we go. And I'll... See, here's the thing. Part of me is kind of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't play... Like, I look at what Northern Lion does. In case, for those of you who don't know, Northern Lion plays a lot of Binding of Isaac, and he's usually, he rerolls, not rerolls, oh, Roid Rage, that's nice. He plays a wide variety of characters, like he hits random and then he just goes for it. I could do that, and sometimes I wonder if I should do that, because, oh, you know, I think it would be, oh dear, I think it'd make for better content. However, I just don't feel like it, so I don't. See, now I've spent the first at least few seconds of this video explaining why I'm a selfish person, I think, following my own interests. Which I think that's okay, you know, like, and that's just it, like, I don't need to, here, I'm gonna be, like, I'm just gonna say what's on my mind right now, and then, alter my words later. I don't really need to please anyone. Like, I don't owe anyone anything, but in the same vein, nobody else owes me anything either, right? So, also, we're taking some really bad damage. That shouldn't have happened. So, you know, I could be like, oh, I should play a different character to appease the fans. It's like, well, what do I want to do? It's like, I want to just, you know, play Isaac. So I was like, okay, let's play Isaac. But you might be saying, well, okay, are you saying that in every case you should be thinking for yourself? I don't think so, not necessarily. But that's gonna come down to, you know, really what you believe in. If you believe in the Pringle monster, by all means, you keep believing. So everyone sees things differently, you know. Some people be like, absolutely, you should be doing this for, you know, the people. And the other thing too is like, this is just, if we're gonna be like do some very brutal, honest analysis right now, it's just like it's just one video on the internet. If people want to watch, you know, run-throughs of Binding of Isaac for other characters, those videos do exist out there. The more I talk, the more I realize I'm sounding like a jerk, which probably isn't a good thing, but I'm gonna keep talking anyways, which probably also isn't a good thing, but there's nothing you guys can do to stop me. And that's the beauty of it. I can complete these train of thoughts and there's gonna be no distractions. Whereas sometimes when I'm streaming, I'll say something and people are like, oh, what? That's outrageous. Oh my goodness. See, that's the thing. I think we need to play Isaac as well, because I need I need all the help I can get. This is not turning out to be a good run. However, normally on Twitch, people raise objections when I elect to use a certain character in Fire Emblem, or I choose not to use a certain character. Anyways, that's Fire Emblem. This is not Isaac. So I haven't played Isaac in a while. I don't actually remember the last time I played Isaac and uploaded to my channel. I mean, I could just check, but we're not checking right now. So right now it's going to be a blow off suspense for us, and we just won't have an exact value. See, the problem was, well, not the problem. I'll get to that in a second. I thought that train of thought that I just got on about, not knowing when the episode was, I thought there was gonna be like more beats to that thread. Like I could carry on about like that thought for quite some time, but it was just no. I just said a couple pieces and then it was over. Like maybe not even a minute. I think I could have gotten more mileage out of it had I been a more creative person. I really wanted to go for it, and you could argue I'm doing that right now. But given what I'm talking about, however, man, geez, this is some very real analysis. We're gonna stop right there because I'm starting to lose myself in my own train of thought. What I want to say before, when I was like, oh yeah, the problem is, or like, anyways, I feel like there's a lot of filler words I use, just to, or not necessarily filler words that I say that I don't really think about what their meaning is or what like context they have in the given situation, and that's something I would like to try and work on. Like, I want to be like clear and concise. Also, this is very helpful. Clear and concise. Oh, that's the other thing too. If I could not say that would be a dream of mine. like it's like, okay, so what are you going on about? So when I'm doing like streaming or recording, like I am doing commentary, and one thing I would like to do or like to have is to have very verbose commentary. But then to expand on that, not only do I want to be verbose, I want to be, at least in my opinion, not high quality, but something that I can be satisfied with. And so for me, it's more satisfactory for me when I can talk about something and not use or say things like "all right" to buy time, or like "oh, but the problem is," like the list goes on. If you don't know what I'm going about, and that's the problem. There I go again. And that's the problem. Okay, well that worked out kind of well. I don't want those spider bombs. See, and part of what makes it difficult is that. Oh, that's a rune bake. That actually might be okay. We'll take that. Part of what makes it difficult is just by the nature of playing a video game. And I've covered this before. Just by me, oh my goodness, by me playing a video game, there's distractions. Like even like right here, I got hit and I immediately said something that wasn't related to. I'm not gonna say the conversation topic, because the conversation topic implies that, you know, there's another person in the conversation, which there isn't. In all reality, I'm just sitting here talking to myself, which you might argue is a bleak existence in its own right. But see, and now I'm in an awkward situation. I'm just gonna give up. I'm not gonna say anything right there. I think that's all I want to say. So we could talk about the run, which I think that's not a bad idea. So the run is okay. I think honestly, we had the tools to turn this into a fantastic run. It's just we've kind of dropped the ball a little bit. Destruction. Okay, we'll clear the boss out first. Yeah, I think I had the potential to make this great. Like I got a lot of spirit hearts, but I just whiffed it. Pretty hard, I would actually argue, because I took a lot of hits I feel like I shouldn't have. That being said, I feel like my commentary is a little bit better in this video than it has been in some other ones. But there's a lot of oh yes, that was very nice. There's a lot of factors that I think that affect my commentary. Like, you know, there's some obvious ones like how tired I am, what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm tired, my commentary just like I think it's just bad, frankly. That being said, like that's not feedback I've heard from others, but I think that's partly because you're your own worst critic. So I'm gonna be like me watching my videos. Sometimes I watch my old videos, or yeah, my older videos too, and I just be like, okay, well, like what do I think of my own content? It's Krampus, and I think I'd be. Oh shoot! See, we're not on the ball today. Not on the ball at all. Oh, we can't even re-roll it. Holy Jeebus. See, I got so distracted with this Krampus fight. We're gone now. And by we're gone, I mean my train of thought's gone. Okay, this is not good. How do we even go Krampus' head? That's blah. Disgusting. Okay, I'm hoping it'll be there when I come back so we can re-roll it. No, it's gone. Alright, well at least we won't get Krampus' head again. Okay, well, yeah, so this run, with that damage pickup, that was very nice. I honestly think we might die in this run just simply because I am not playing well today. I could argue that it's because I haven't played Isaac in a while, but I just think I'm just, like, I don't know what it is. I'm just not playing good today. It's like, oh, is he just trying about something? Like, is he thinking about, like, the magical muffin man? Resistance? Actually, that's very good. We should have taken that to the Krampus fight. He's thinking about the muffin man, how he owes him a grand amount of money. And I was like, well, probably not. I feel like there was a story in there somewhere, but oh man, I just don't feel like making a story. And that's the thing. It's like, should I even be recording if I don't feel like talking about stories and stuff? I was like, oh boy. And like, that's also what I wonder too. Like me personally, like I want to be, whenever I like stream or record videos, like I always want to be talking. Like I don't like the dead air in a video. Like, so if there's something going on but I'm just not saying anything, I don't like that. That for me, I'm like, ugh, not cool. But there's also a lot of personalities who just sit there, play the game, and they don't say anything in the slightest. And part of the reason why I'm interested in talking more is like, well, why do you want to have verbose commentary? I feel like it's a good way to get my personality out in the video. So what I mean is that, how do I describe this? Because I think also if I don't, I think by extension, if I don't say anything, I think that also gets my opinion out, or not my opinion, but my character out onto the videos. Like if you're a person who doesn't talk much while playing games, like while you're recording, then it's kind of like, well, we know who, like, it's not saying that we know who you would be as an individual, but we get like an idea that your personality, that you might be a more of a quiet person because you don't talk very much. And likewise, by me talking a whole lot, it's like, okay, we get that he's a person who talks more, but by talking more, I think I get more ideas and opinions out, and then that way you guys get a better sense of who I might be and where I stand as a person. And then it's like, well, does he really want to have the internet know about who you are as an individual? I was like, I mean, I don't think I'm actually too concerned about this. Or, I don't know what that is. I'm going to re-roll it just because I have no idea. That was a very good re-roll. So about people like knowing who I am, I feel like I'm such small time, like it's not really a big deal. Like I honestly don't think this channel is going to be going abundance. So that's that's a lot of choices here. I don't think this channel is large enough that it's going to be going anywhere. Well, see, and the other thing too is I don't know if it's just because like I've been doing this for too long, or is it just, I think it's just also I'll get to that in a second. So basically, I don't think this channel's gonna get too big. So that's why I'm not too concerned about, you know, telling you guys about like what I think or other things. Like obviously, I'm not gonna be like, here's where I live, here's my social insurance ad or number. Here, I'll also give you guys my credit card as well. Like, I don't want to do that because that's just stupid. But that being said, it's like if me saying, hey, I believe that hot dogs, while tasty, aren't necessarily the best food for you. Well, that's kind of like, well, that's just an opinion that several people could have on the internet. And then after a while, you guys might be like, well, this guy, you know, playing the game right now, he likes StarCraft and he likes Fire Emblem. Like, there'd be some things you know about me, but it's not. I guess where I'm ultimately going with this, like, I don't think it'd be dangerous to have that much information out. And of course, like, I don't really know because I haven't gotten to that point where it would be dangerous. But like, I guess the other thing too, obviously, if I did think it was going to be dangerous, like, I wouldn't be doing any of this, right? So, and I think it's more interesting. Like, I know when I watch personalities, when they talk about themselves, like, I'm more interested. Like, I want to get to know them as a Euro. Let's do Euro right here. That was very good. I want to know more about them. Like when they talk and stuff, I'm just like, oh yeah, here's who I am. Here's what I think. Like I love hearing that about, like, you know, my favorite online personalities. And really, when it comes right down to it, I'm trying to not emulate, but the things I like from other content creators, that's what I'm going to be trying to put into my own content, because I like it, and I think it's good, and because I like it, then obviously, like, not obviously, but I'm going to be more inclined to do it myself, because if I like it, then that usually implies I think it's a good idea. So then for that reason, like, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So for example, going back to way back when to Northern Line, we can just pop that. Northern Line does very verbose commentary, and I'm like, hey, I like that quite a bit. So that's something I want to have in my videos. And then I just go for it. Okay, that worked out very well. Degauss, let's take that. So, and that's the thing. So it's like, you know, I like what, I like having verbose commentary. I want to be a positive person. Like, I don't want to be a guy who gets angry at games, because for me, I just find that to be, I just don't like the feeling of anger. Like it just doesn't feel fun for me. Whereas that said, like some people get huge kicks out of people being angry in games, and that's completely okay. Like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, me personally, that's not something I want to do. Here, we'll just alligators it up. We need a cube meat. Well, we don't really need a cube meat, but it would be nice. So, and that's just it. And I think the other people too is like their personalities are well, it's just a reflection of their ideologies or whatever. So, like, if someone gets mad at video game, ooh, shoot, man, yeah, we're taking that. If someone gets mad at video games, it's like they, like I don't want to say that's part of their personality, and I want to be careful about this, but I think it gives you like a, not like a, I guess a better insight about who they might be as a person. It's and so on and so forth. I don't think there was much more going about that. As to why I don't think my channel is ever gonna make the big time. Well, I definitely don't think it's gonna make the big time. For basically the reasons that there are hundreds of well, yeah, there's hundreds of big names on the YouTubes, and I would guess that there's like thousands upon, well, probably hundreds of thousands of people who are content creators for YouTube. So it's basically, my argument comes down, well, based on simple statistics, it seems unlikely that this particular channel will become big time either, in the sense that it would be like millions of subscribers. It just seems unlikely. Is it impossible? No, but it's not something I'm like, well, I'm gonna bank my future on that happening, because that's something I want to have happen. And I don't think that's something I'd even want anyways. Which is, and here's the thing. I know by me, it's like, oh yeah, like when some guy has like, 4 subscribers, and he's like saying, oh yeah, I don't want to have millions of subscribers. You might just be saying, okay, he's just saying that because he doesn't have it. But when he has millions of subscribers, he's gonna be like, yo, man, I'm so happy I have them. I always wanted this. And that can happen. Maybe I'm just saying this right now, it's all an act, and then once, if I did hit the big time, I'm just like that guy's like, yeah, I'm so happy I have all these subscribers. That could happen, and I'm not gonna discount that. As of right now, though, I don't have a huge interest in getting that many subscribers, just because. Oof, justice. Yeah, we'll pop that now. I don't have a huge interest in having that happen, just because it seems stressful to have like 30 bombs. I don't think I want those. Just to have that many subscribers, because then that's kind of like, well, then you have these expectations that people have placed upon you. Well, I don't think there's expectations, but I think you'd have the stress of feeling like, oh, okay, I have so many people, like I need to maintain my subscribers and like not lose any of them. I think like that would be something that could get some. This might be hard. Oh, okay. That might be get to some people, because it's like, oh well, I have like millions of subscribers, I don't want to lose any of them. And I think that's fair. I kind of had that a little bit too back when I had like six subscribers. Like I lost, some of them. I'm like, oh man, like what did I do wrong? Oh yes, we want that, please. And it's like, so basically it's like the fear of like failure, right? So if you're like that successful of a YouTuber, then it's like, well, what happens if I lose my channel and stuff? Or even like as an academic or like a student, a student who always gets good grades, there's a chance they might have like the fear of like, what happens if I don't get the good grades for like this particular class, right? Because they're not used to failure. That being said, the people who are used to failure are probably less afraid of it. Because they're used to it. It's like, it's fear. I think it basically boils down to fear of the unknown. So, so going back to the student, there's just too much sensory overload here. Going back to the student, if they're not used to receiving like a letter grade of a D or a C or something, then they're going to be afraid of getting it because they're not used to having it. because it's unfamiliar with them, and I think that's where most of the human. Oh my goodness, this is awful. I think that's where most of the human fear comes from. Is just fear of the unknown, and I think that's the premise that works behind a lot of horror films. I don't claim to be an expert on horror films by any stretch of the imagination, so I might be talking a whole lot of gibberish nonsense here. We're going back for a reroll, by the way, in case you're wondering what we're up to. I might just be talking horse hockey, but I think like if from the video, like the horror videos I've seen or the games or whatever, more often than not, the enemy is like or like the monster or whatever is usually something that like human society isn't used to. Like, and there's some very good videos on YouTube or just like other documentation as well, like books or what have you, that I feel like really explain this far better than I ever could. And that's the whole thing. I'm trying to summarize the whole horror genre into like a few sentences, and I don't think that's it's possible, and I don't think it's fair to the horror industry either. I mean, I don't think we're really concerned about being fair in this location, but that's alright. Fudge, man. All these items suck. Like, it's brutal. Yeah, we'll pop this just because I want another Spirit Heart. And I guess just long story short, like, for horror films, like the zombies or whatever, like, they used to be scary for me because I didn't quite understand zombies, but now, like, I've seen zombies so often that I don't really find them scary, but you could also argue that's just me getting older as well, and, you know, you might be right about that as well. But, you know, the more I got exposed to zombies as far as, like, a horror medium, I was like, okay, well, they're not as scary as they used to be as a little kid. But that being said, I think if I saw a zombie in real life, I'd completely lose my mind. I'd be like, ah! I would scream, shout, and I'd cry. So, taking this all the way back, that's part of the reason why I wouldn't want to be a big YouTuber, is because I don't want to have the fear of failure. But then I should also clarify too that, like, I love it when people leave comments on my video, and I also love it. Like, I like seeing, like, I like when people subscribe to my stuff like that. Like, that's a nice feeling, just because it's like, well, someone actually thinks that, like, what I do is worth watching. So then you get, like, that sense of validation, and that always feels good. And I guess the thing is too, if you're a big YouTuber, it's kind of like, wow, millions of people have decided that they want to watch my content. Like, that must be a nice feeling to have. And I don't think it's not inherently a bad thing. I think it'd be kind of what you make of it, like being a large YouTuber. But I also think there's gonna be this pros and cons, right? Like, I think one con would be like there's a little bit of uncertainty because you can't really know what the trends are of YouTube, or if your channel will survive, or if like YouTube will implement a new policy that, you know, kind of hoops you over. But then also, as you know, you get public adoration. Among other things, so I can see it being nice, but then like, so it's like, okay, so why are you doing the YouTube stuff? Anyways, if you know you don't think you're gonna become a big YouTuber, that's not what you want anyways. Like, why are you here making videos? A couple of reasons. I find it fun. I like creating videos. Making the videos are fun for me. But the other thing too is I wouldn't mind having a small community that I can interact with. And I deliberately say small because I think once you have, and this is just conjecture on my point, I have no way of like knowing if this is actually the case. I think once you have a large enough community, it becomes hard to interact with the audience simply because there's too many people. I don't think we're going to be getting this. Unless he just spawns the enemies, in which case we might be fine. I think once you get too many people, you can't interact with them all. Like, so for example, like Markiplier and his like subscription count. Like, for those of you who don't know, he has like at least 10 million. I think he's closer to 14 million or 15 million. But there's no way he can interact with all those people. He can interact with a select few of them, but he can't interact with all of them. Whereas if I have like a smaller community, I think it'd be easier to interact with everyone in that community. Oh, an angel room. Purity, that's interesting. Let's go into the angel room first. That's actually a really good item, so we'll just take that. Well, I don't know if it was really good, but considering what I could end up rerolling, I'm okay just to take that. Oh, and we can get the key fight too if you want to fight Mega Satan. Let's do it. Let's fight Mega, or like, let's try and go for it. I don't think I've ever done this before on YouTube's. So, and with a smaller community, I think it'd be easier to communicate with everyone. Which I think would be cool. And part of the reason why I want it is, like, why do you want a small community to interact with? It's like, because I want to see what it's like. I don't know what it's like to have a small community who, you know, who watches your videos and then, like, they post comments or whatever, and you say, yeah, like, oh, yeah, like, blah, 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 and you're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think that'd be cool, so that's why I want to work towards it. Because I think it'd be a new experience that'd be interesting to get. And it's like, well, how are you going to get there? It's like, I have literally no idea. Because that's just it. Like, I'm not sure what really makes a good YouTube video or what makes people want to watch your stuff. Like, I haven't quite figured that out. Like, I think I'm starting to get some better rough ideas. But as it stands right now, I have, like, I know jack squat. Like, I have literally no idea. And I think part of it, too, is just, like, so it's like, okay, so, like, do you have any ideas? And I think I have a couple. Like, I think for one, like, the more production value you put into your videos, like, that will help. Like, if I really took time to edit my videos and stuff, I think I would be getting more views. I think subconsequently, I think by extension, there we go. See, the lesson is, if you don't know how to use a word, use a different word. Simple linguistics of Ryan Rideout. Whoops, I said too much. I should have said it with Fredgy. It's too late now. Oh, and see, now we're walking. See, now we're really panicking. We're panicking. Our gameplay is just falling apart. I think it's like the more production value you put into your videos, like, that will help. Like, if you have, like, I don't edit my videos at all, which I think that's probably the biggest thing. Okay, that's good. I don't edit my videos, so that means, you know, I don't do any, like, color adjustments or, like, correction of the audio, and I think that might be probably the biggest one. It's like, I would need to do some corrections of the audio. So I don't do that. For a long time, I didn't. 40 hour range, that's pretty good. Yeah, so I don't edit my video. I'm not on a consistent schedule. I think if I had consistency, I would be doing a little bit better. Who know? And then part of it is like a who knows, right? Like, I have no idea. That's why I'm just like, I want to say right up front, like, I have no idea. So what I'm saying might just be nonsense. So there's no consistency, and I think a large part of it too is just like your content too, right? As far as like just doing like let's plays of like just like playing video games, and then era, we'll take the era, so we'll remember to use it. As far as just gameplay videos, like let's plays, like, it's pretty easy to produce this kind of stuff, and then just post it on the internet. Like, it's very it's a very small amount of work to create a video like this and post on the internet. It's minimal, really. But because it's such a low amount of effort, the market's and the market, I mean YouTube. YouTube's just flooded with these kinds of videos. Like, there's hundreds. Like, to find a small-time YouTuber on YouTube would be incredibly easy, I'm sure. Like, you have like I don't know what the 2 is, so we're just not going to deal with it. Yeah, you guys have like your pick of the litter, basically. Like, that's like, to use a comparison, and well, and there's to add more to the point, there's also the big YouTubers who, I should year out the batteries. We'll see what we can get for a reroll. To put a finer point on it too, I'm also competing for like with the big YouTubers for like the views and stuff. Like, so for example, like, my content is pretty easy to make, so you have like a bunch of like other like smaller channels making the same stuff I do. But then you have the big channels as well who make stuff like this too, and it's like, okay, like, shoot, ooh, maybe we want a year right here. I don't know, man. This is tough. I think we Yura here because I want more spirit hearts. So not only am I competing like, so then it's like, okay, so I'm competing with the big guys as well. But then the big channels, they edit their videos. And that's the thing. I don't think they actually edit. Some of them don't edit their videos too much. Like I think there's only so much there's only so much you can do to edit like one of these videos. And so, but one of the advantages about gameplay videos, I think, is that you can get them out very regularly, and I think people like regular content on, you know, a frequent basis. Like I think that's something that tickles their that tickles them. Do we want the exploding fly? I'm gonna be really greedy on the rerolls here, and we're just gonna go hard for them. So where am I going with this? So okay, so there's all that stuff too, but I think the other thing as well is if you make like, if you put a lot of work into the video, like so for example, like if you look at a CinemaSins video, you can tell by just watching them that, what is this? That was okay. Probably not exactly what I wanted, but nuns have it. Let's take that. Take this. We have so much money that's like, why not? If you so if you look at a guy who like the CinemaSins guy, like you can just tell that he puts a lot of work into his videos, and because of that, it's more of a unique video. Like CinemaSins is basically the only channel on YouTube that I can think of that does the format that it does. Like I think is a very unique format. Whereas these gameplay videos, there's so many of them, so people are like, okay, well, why bother watching this? Like, what does this guy offer that's any different from anyone else? So that's where it comes down to, like, well, I think I would have to bank on my personality, that people would be like, oh, hey, I like his personality a lot, or enough that I'm gonna watch his videos instead of someone else because, you know, I'm a unique individual. And then it's like, okay, I think the more you can do to distinguish yourself from the YouTube, the better off you'll be, because then, not the better off you'll be, the more you can distinguish yourself, the more of a following you can get, because you offer something unique that no one else really does. But to go on to the point, like, also this type of content, like, so for example, like, I do quite a bit of StarCraft, some Fire Emblem, and then I play some other miscellaneous games as well. But, you know, oh man, I felt like I was doing so good, and I just lost it. As far as my train of thought goes. Oh, nuns have it actually maybe really good here. So I'm taking so much damage. So, like, some of my Let's Plays, like Fallout 4, or like Dead Rising that I'm currently doing, other, like Game Grumps have already done Dead Rising. Oh, do we even want these? Yeah, sure, I guess we'll take them. And we'll play the Angel, too. I kind of whiffed that a little bit. I was trying to place down a lot of tiers and, like, just let them go. So people have already done, like, you know, Let's Plays of, like the Let's Plays I've done, like, of, like, individual games. Like, people have already done that. Or if you look at, like, the StarCraft Brood War ones, like, people have already done StarCraft Brood War as well. And then, like, my StarCraft, like, 2v2 videos, or 1v1s, or 3v3s, it's like, I don't think people just, like, I don't think they actually care enough about them, to watch them. And that's not to say it's, like, I think they're bad videos. I just think, rather, what I'm trying to say is that people aren't really interested in StarCraft 2 right now. Like, say, if I did, so, to kind of explain myself here, if I did more popular games, let's say, like, I did a bunch of League of Legends content, and let's say, like, Overwatch, like, let's say I just did, like, the really big games, I think there would be a chance that I would have more people watch my stuff, simply because it might appeal to the broader base of audience. Like, so for example, let's consider the StarCraft. Let's just say, hypothetically, that there's only like 10,000 people who play StarCraft. StarCraft 2, that is. So, for them to want to watch my, like, content, there's only like 10,000 potential viewers which is like, okay. But let's say we like consider something like League of Legends. There's, you know, 300,000, and these are just random numbers, by the way. Let's just suppose that there's 300,000 or people who play League of Legends, and then I have 300,000 like potential viewers, if my math makes any sense. And then likewise too, and that's part of the reason why I do different games as well. Well, I mean, mostly because like I want to play them, like, and that's just it. If I want to like if I want to become super popular, I think there'd be things I could be doing differently to help me achieve those goals. That I'm not doing. Like, so for example, like I would like to make a serious effort to edit my videos. I could also get like streaming hardware that like lets me do at 60 frames per second instead of 30 frames per second, so on and so forth. Like it's kind of like you get out of it what you put into it. Whereas for my channel, I actually haven't put in too much work into it. I've put a little bit, but not too much into it. And I think, you know, it shows. And then I get the appropriate, you know, I get out of it. I put it into it. And I don't think that's always the case. I think you'll have those. I don't know if this is a general case or like this is just like for exceptions, but I think you always have exceptions about people who, it's disproportionate about the work they put into it and the output they get. Basically to say is like I think there are things I could be doing differently to get more my fan voice. But I'm just not doing it because that's not really what I want to do. Like I play most of the games, like most of the games I play on my channel, like I'm just playing them because I want to, and like that. Oh my goodness. So we whiffed the devil deal, 100%. Oh, there won't even be a devil deal. We might actually die too. This is gonna be sad and pathetic. And like that's why, like, you know, bringing back home, like that's why I'm playing Isaac instead of like say another characters, because like that's what I feel like doing. And I've said this before. It's like the thing about the YouTube channel. Like if it never catches on, like that's fine. Like, if I never get that small community that like I would like to have, that's cool because I'm having a good time doing this right now. Then like I don't really feel like it was time wasted. And even then, even let's just say, I didn't have the best time. Ooh, get away from me. Even if I didn't have the best time doing this, I still would say it was a worthwhile endeavor because at the very least it was a learning experience. Which is, I think that's something to consider. So that's kind of where I stand with the whole like YouTube thing. So, and like to summarize, basically, like it would be nice to have a small community, but I'm not gonna blow my gasket if I don't get one of those. But also I like to do like what's just fun for me. And I wanted to say this earlier, and I think I just missed my chance. One thing I've noticed is about like it's part of like putting the work into your videos. Ooh, can we reroll this? What we keep the magnet? Here, I'm gonna actually take some damage here just because I want to. TNT box. Oh my god, this thing suck. Because I want to get that item. Shoot. Oh yeah. So putting more work into my YouTube, or one thing I've noticed is that like, so just very recently, yeah, we're gonna take this actually. Like, I'm gonna go really hard for this. We'll just take it. Better than nothing. One thing I've noticed is that I've put, like very recently for my Dead Rising videos, I did more of a custom thumbnail. So basically what I did is I took Frank's head and I just put it on, sorry, I took my head and put it on Frank's body, and I've noticed that already I've gotten more views for my Dead Rising videos than I've gotten for some of my other videos. But then the thing is, like, was that because, oh, Fear Shot's actually really good, so we'll take that. Was that because it was the thumbnail, or was it just because people were more interested in watching Dead Rising than some of the other stuff I put on my channel? And I honestly think I think it has more to do with the thumbnail than it does with the actual gameplay. Because I think if I just did, I think if I just did, like just like a picture of Frank, then it's like, okay, well this could be any Dead Rising game or, you know, gameplay footage. However, me putting like my face on there, people are like, well, he put a goofy face on there, so like for them that might just be intriguing. And we're gonna do this. We're so rich on items that I don't see why not. So by doing a custom thumbnail, it's like, okay, well, like people are more inclined to click on that. I was like, well, that's a bit weird. Like, why does that guy have his face on, you know, Frank's face? And then, you know, that brings people in. I think, if the more people you draw into your video is to begin with, then like the more like subscribers you're likely to have. And I think that's part of it too. Part of it, I think why I have a low subscriber count is that people don't bother to click on my videos because like, okay, what can this guy offer that I haven't seen before? Oh, actually, here's to be a great reroll. What can this guy offer that I haven't seen before? And then like the answer is like, well, probably not a whole lot. What's this? 2 parts? Okay, well, okay, we'll reroll. Both are great. So, and that's why I think, you know, having, like, and I think I read somewhere that having a thumbnail that has, like, your face on it increases the views of a video, which I think so far, like, I would agree with that. Just based from, like, what little I've seen, like, my Dead Rising videos already have some more views than any of my other videos. And my Dead Rising videos I've just put out, which for me is pretty incredible. And the other thing too, making the thumbnails was a lot of fun. There was something else I want to say about this too, but I forgot. So I'm just gonna move on instead of trying to remember. Oh, we're at Mom already. Oh, we didn't even check out the whole map, did we? No, we got the item room, we got the shop. We're probably fine then. So let's talk about this run, because the problem is, like, subconsciously I'm trying to think about this stuff I'm trying to say, and I just can't think of it. So this run I think is pretty solid. I think we're gonna be just fine. Cube of nothing. I think I got carried pretty hard, even though I didn't play this very well. I think if I was playing another character, I would have been dead absolutely. But we got some pretty lucky stuff with the re-rolls. One here I think too is I actually haven't gone to the other floors, so we still might die. Oh dear. Good golly, man. Yeah, I think we're gonna die actually. I mean, we got really carried by the item selection, I feel. But I'm just like, I'm just not doing good. Like, I'm taking a lot of damage. A lot of damage I don't think I need to be taking. So we're pretty rich on keys. Okay, we're super rich on keys, so we'll just head down to the... I think we actually died against Satan, though. Oh, we're not going to be fighting the lamb anyways. That's a great question. Where do we go? More angel hearts. That's fine. Oh, actually, we do have the 2 of hearts. That's not the worst thing. Yeah, we'll take the negative. We'll go down to the bottom and go from there. Because I think I've done more chest runs than I have other ones, so. Oh dear. We're getting Shrek'd, man. Shrek'd. It's like, what does he mean by Shrek'd? And like, that's the thing, I have no idea. Our fire rate seems to be pretty good. Like, if I was a better player, we can do this, but obviously I'm just not feeling the Isaac today, because I've been taking a lot of damage. Oh shoot, I remember what I wanted to say from way back then. And this was released to actually where it is right now. Like, as far as like unique content goes, like, so let's just like take the Binding of Isaac. So some people like to watch Northern Lion because he's a decent player. Like, he's actually pretty good. He's pretty good, but then he also he takes the unique random items. Like, he doesn't necessarily play to win. He plays to have a good time. Yeah, we should. I think we'll pop this now. Yeah, and just go on our way. People like to watch Northern Lion because, you know, he's a good player and he plays at a very interesting he plays very interesting ways. So that appeals to some people. Like, so that's something unique. Where someone else, like, say, I think his name is Brimsnap. He like has very detailed analysis. Like he knows everything about the game, like all the numbers and all that stuff. So he plays at a very high level. So like that also appeals to other people. But the point is that even though they're both different types of like they're both the same game, they both offer different types of content. Because one does like more entertaining, like not entertaining, but more random gameplay, whereas the other one does more analysis. So even though you have the same game, you have different levels of you have different facets of uniqueness. So, and whereas like for here, if you consider my play, I'm playing worse than either of those two. There's no analysis going on. There's a little bit, but not a significant amount of analysis. So people would be, I think, would be quick to look at this and be like, okay, well, this is strictly worse gameplay. And so, like, again, it'd be like I'd have to be delivering on like the personality or the content front. Like, I'd have to hope that my commentary is what makes the video interesting rather than like my gameplay. Like, I think some people like would enjoy the gameplay. I'm not saying like it's like people are like, well, I hate this, but it's definitely not as good as a lot of other people out there. But that's just it. Like, you're never gonna be the best. And to go on to the point too, like if you consider the Game Grumps, like it's no real secret that they're not the greatest gamers at all. Sorry, I have a lot of. There's a Philip Snot. Wish I didn't want to hear that. They're not the greatest gamers at all. That being said, they do. Based on like the subscription numbers, I would say that they would do very interesting commentary because they have the two of them there and they just talk about whatever. But they're not great at games, but they have like the commentary for like more or less to back them up. Oh dear. So, and like, but they offer something else. Like, they don't offer. Whereas, like, some people, like, they focus more on like, oh, like here I can do good. I can do good gameplay, but then like my commentary is gonna be exclusively like about peanuts. So it's like offering like different. And I think it comes back to my point of like you just trying to offer different things that. Yeah, we'll just do this, man. Of just offering. Something unique that's not already there on the market. Like, so for another example too, I'm gonna drink some water. Excuse me. Another example as well would be, I think my StarCraft Brood War videos. So. And I'm actually pretty proud of my StarCraft Brood War videos. And the other thing too is they've gotten more views than some of my other stuff. Sorry, my phone went off. I want to check it, but I'm not going to. I'm conflicted. I'm pretty proud about them, but like I did a quick glance on YouTube, and I didn't find too many other Let's Plays on Brood War. But the point I want to say is like because I play StarCraft, like I'm not claiming to be a pro StarCraft player by any stretch of the imagination. If you guys actually watch my 2v2 videos, I would actually consider myself to be pretty average. That being said, hold on. Fudge! No! Oh, I am so dead. So dead. We're gonna die next room, so that'll be great actually. We might even no, we'll probably survive this room. We need to get this thought out before I die. That's gonna be our new mission objective. So for the StarCraft 2 videos, like I'm not a pro player by any stretch of the imagination, but it wouldn't surprise me too much if I was better than not most, but if I was better than your average Let's Player on the StarCraft Brood War, like if I had like less difficulties on the campaign. And like this might be purely ego talking, like who knows, maybe I just suck compared to other people, like, and I haven't watched those Let's Plays, like, so who knows, maybe those guys just crush out those games. We're in trouble, we're so dead. If we can get to past it, like it lives, I'm gonna consider this Victory. Shoot. So, but the thing is about the StarCraft Brood War is that I think I could play it at like a somewhat higher level than some other people who let's play. So that could make my my gameplay interesting for some, because like, wow, like this guy like really breezed through the campaign. Like he just knows what's up. So for some people, like that might be interesting. Or as like a unique like twist on it. And I think that's all there is really to it. I don't think there's much more to say about that. I will also say that my StarCraft Brood War videos were far more popular. Not far more popular, but definitely popular than some of the other things. Like, so for example, my StarCraft 2 videos don't get views. They don't get a lot of views, and I've talked about this before. But it was like StarCraft Brood War got quite a bit of views. Probably my most viewed series actually. However, now with like Dead Rising, the custom thumbnails, like that may change, and that'll be cool. Time will tell. All right, we're dead. Thank you all for watching. I feel like there's some more ideas in my head, but I'll just save them for another video, and we'll get them out then. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I feel like my gameplay suffered because I was really going on a lot of tangents, but I felt good. I felt like it was a really honest conversation, really deep reflection on like who I am as an individual.